Hello, welcome to the channel. Another episode about HTMX and Clojure, and today we're going to build a comment section. But basically this comment section example will be just a demo, and we can discuss more interesting topic. And the topic is how we update some independent content on our HTML page after we do some AJAX request with HTMX. So there is an entire post here on the HTMX docs called updating other content. And basically there are different options that we have. There's 4 solutions, and we're going to take a look into 3 of those in this video. Let's describe the problem that we have. So first of all, I've built this comment section with some dummy fake comments. And we have this page, we have a simple form to put our comment and publish it. And after we click publish comment, HTMX will trigger an AJAX post request to submit a new comment, and the comment will be created. But after that, we want this comment to be visible in the comments list. And we want to do that without full page reload. So in this page, we just have this comment section, but obviously in the real app, we'll have some kind of like a blog post or whatever, and then we have this comment section as a small part of the page, and we want to add comments without full page reload, so we have a good user experience. I prepared this template. Let's take a look what we have in the backend. And the main thing here is our comment component, which is just a div. And I generate a bit of data prepare some data here in the comments atom. And the random comment will basically be a map that has a name, comment, and picture. I'm using this faker library to generate random data. Cool, so we have that. I generate 3 random comments. If I reload the page, I'll see new comments here. So cool, let's start building from that. So also we have this comment form component, and this is an HTML form. And we have our main text area input field, and then we have a button to submit the form. So what we want to do is to start adding properties here that HTMX will trigger our post request. And to do that, we want our form to execute hx post. So we have hx post here, and the URL for that will be this one. I prepared 2 roots now. One is just comment sections, which is the root handler, the root of our example, and then we have this post endpoint to submit a new comment. So we need this snippet, and if I scroll back to the form, I can put it here. So let's see what we got. So hx post to this URL, and then we have hx target, which will trigger this HTML element, and we want to swap the entire content from that. So let's reload, and we go back and open our inspector, going to the network tab, reload once again, start typing the comment and publish it. So we have 200 here, and the response so the status is 200, but the response body is empty. So basically our form disappeared. To fix that, we want to go back to our post handler. And if I find it, we want to update this place, and we want our comment form component here. Let's reload the page. Try once again, hi. Publish comment. So now we still have this form because the form is returned back from the AJAX response. If I clean up this one and try once again. Hi, publish. We see a request, and if I click on response row, we have this form, which is basically same form. And if I reload the page, you see we now have new comments here because they are actually inserted inside our state item right here. So we get the comment from the request params. We always add some hard-coded author name and author picture, and then we use our comments item and we add a comment there. The problem that it's not like responsive, right? It requires the full page reload. So let's try to fix that. And if we go back to the docs in HTMX, the first option, and it will be the most simple to understand one, I believe, is to just extend the target. So instead of operating with the form only, we will create an ID on the top level, and we say like the comment, the entire comment section, and then when we submit the post request to insert a new comment, in the response we'll get the entire comment section, so it will have all our comments and it will have the comment form at the bottom. And we basically take the entire HTML and replace our entire comment section with that HTML. So let's see if that will work. Couple things that we need to update is we want now hx target to be something else. So let's say where is our form, right? So hx target will be let's call it comment section, and the comment section in our root handler. Give me a sec. So yeah, comment section component. And here we need to find our comment section. So it will be entire thing like this. So we want to provide ID, comments section. And let's reload that one. See, I know that shouldn't work right now, but let's take a look what we have. So we publish the comment. Oh wait, so hx target wasn't changed. I believe I missed the place. Yeah, so this target here, right, in the comments form should be comments section. Let's reload and try. Okay, cool. So now our entire comment section was replaced by the form, which is kind of correct according to our logic, but we now want to fix that. So in the post handler, we now want to return the entire comments section, and in the input we want to provide our comments from the atom. Comments atom. Let's reload, refresh, test. Okay, cool. So test 2, test 1, test 2. Yeah, this seems to be working. So what we've done is we configured our form with hx target, and we provided this HTML ID for the comment section. And our comment section is basically this entire block starting from here. If I highlight that, and we have this ID comment section. So in the post request, when we submit a new comment, in the response, we will have the entire block to replace, and we replacing the entire comment section, and that's why we have we see the comment immediately here without page reload. So that's the first option, and it's not bad because we just have the single endpoint for the post, and we don't have to implement any other endpoints in the backend. The downside is that we need to update our HTML a bit, so we need to provide this ID of the top level comment section, and unfortunately this will only work if these two sections, like the comments themselves and the form, are kind of located in our HTML DOM, not far from each other. So it's easy for us to wrap it into a bigger target and define it as a component on the backend, and return the entire bigger component as part of our comments response. But if you have your simple DOM like that, you have your two elements close to each other, that's definitely a good approach and definitely the easiest one. So that's the solution number one. Solution number two is called out-of-band responses. And let's take a look what we have here. So the thing that is changed is the response from our post request to create new comment. So instead of returning the entire section, comment section, we now returning the form and just one element. So it will be just one comment component. But with this HX swap OOB, we can configure where HTMX should insert this element in our DOM tree. So let's go to the backend and let's fix our post request first. So again, now we want not the full comment sections here, but we want to go back to our comments form component. And as we want multiple elements here, we want to return a list of elements. And here we want to return a div. Div. And inside we want a comment component. And we want our new inserted component here. And on this div, I believe we want to configure the property for the swap. So it will be something like that. So this option means that we insert it as the first element inside this ID in the DOM tree. And for this ID, we want to put, I actually have it here. So this div is basically a wrapper around the list of comments. So HTMX will search for this ID, and here we create a list of components. So the response, the component from the response, single one, will be placed by HTMX right here in front of this all the list. So let's reload and see if we made any mistakes. Let's refresh. Let's run a test. Publish. Okay, interesting. So the thing that we need to fix is we still have this HX target here to target the comment section entirely, and that's why it's not fully working. So if we remove this target from here and we reload our page, yeah, here we go. So we now have it refreshed, and if we run, we create a new comment, and we insert it, and it appears here. So let's see what we have in the network tab. We insert something high and publish, and we have this post. And if we go to row, we have this div. Actually, maybe it's better to see it like that. So this is a plain HTML for our comment, and at the bottom we have the comment section. And this div is configured with this hx swap OOB, and it says after begin and ID of the element. So if we inspect our DOM, this element is our ID comments. So HTMX inserts new comments right after this this div right here before our first comment. That's how it works. Cool. So now we know how to do it with these out-of-band responses. The benefit is that we don't have to update our HTML so it works, because we can basically configure this one to insert this element or in any place in our HTML DOM tree, no matter how far it is in the tree from our form, which is pretty cool. And you can basically check this hx swap properties. So there's before and, after begin, and some other options available. So that's good. And finally, solution number 3. And I think that's one of the most elegant options we have. Obviously, if you have a simple case when you have your elements close in the close to each other, the solution 1 will work the best, I think, the most easy option. But solution 3 will use events, and we will listen to the events in the browser. Basically, HTMX will listen to those events and will trigger some update operations once we receive those events. So let's take a look. Yeah, we want to still to return the form, right? But we also want to add a HTTP header that's called hx trigger, and this will be a name of our event in the front end. So let's do that. Let's go to our post handler, and here in the response we want to update it. I have a snippet somewhere. Yeah, let's take this one. So we want update response, and we want to add into the headers this hx trigger, and our event name will be new comment. That's good. We can just keep now the form, because we want to replace our form with the form again. So hx target will be this in this case. Let's reload and see. Test. All right. So nothing changes, but if we refresh, we will see our comment. So it's kind of working. In the network tab, let's refresh and test once again. So we are getting back the form and we're replacing the form, right? So that's fine. But the interesting part is that in the headers, in the response, we will see now hx trigger new comment. But it's not configured yet on the front end to do any actions on that request, on that event. If we go to the docs, we can find as example for that. So we'll have this hx trigger here on the comment section. So let's go to our comment section right here, and let's create a new component. Let's just say comments, right? And it will be we'll do a div right there, and we want these two elements. Like that. And component, comments component. We want to pass comments inside. Basically, why I'm doing that is that we have a separate kind of component on the backend that we can configure with HTMX to respond on these events on the front end. So now we can put it right here. So we'll have comments component, and we pass comments inside. Comments. We can remove these two bits. And if we refresh, we should see same basically behavior. Let's double check. Yeah, no changes. And now if we go to this comments component in this div, we want to configure it with boom, 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 boom. Let's move our ID right here. So we have this full div named components. And we want to add our event. So let's put it here. We actually don't need it for now. And so let's say just comments for now, but as we don't have this endpoint, it will return nothing. But anyway, what we're interested in is when we post a new comment with our form, it will return the proper header as we've seen. And this trigger basically means listen to this event from the body. And when we get this event, it will execute this hxget/comments, and this endpoint should return this entire comments component with a new state, with updated state. So we basically trigger the event by post request from the headers, and then we refresh our comments component. And the benefit again, it shouldn't be closed in the DOM tree. It could be in any place on our HTML page. This will work. So that's cool. Let's refresh and see if we get any requests on our event. Publish. Yeah, so we have 404 not found, which makes sense, right? Because we haven't implemented the backend yet. And now we want to add a new endpoint here in our roots. So let's say it's called comments, and we have this endpoint, and we have get. So now we want to configure our comment section with a new get request, like that. Oops. And we want a new handler for that, comments handler. Yeah, I actually have this handler already here, but it should be pretty simple. So we don't want to swap anything, so we just want a response, and in response we want comments section, not just comments component, and we want our comments atom state, like that. And yeah, looks good. Let's refresh and try it again. Test, publish. Yeah. Cool. So if we clean up the network tab and do the test. So now our post request to the form just returns the empty form, which is good. But after that, we're getting this event and we're triggering the comments event. And in the response from that, we are getting the new version of our comments section without the form. So we're basically refreshing the state. Test once again. Yep, looks good. All right, so it was option 3 from the list. I think one of the most elegant approaches, because it's using the event-driven basically architecture to trigger updates in the page, which is pretty cool. And the solution number 4, I basically decided to skip this one because it's using some extension, and I think every use case is covered by first 3 options. The only way is you have already been using this old Intercooler.js library that had this approach. In that case, potentially you want maybe like use the same approach here, but for my use cases, I believe first 3 options will be more than enough. And there's quite nice description here, basically when to use each. So I highly recommend just go and read this article as well. But I hope it gave you some idea how we update independent parts of our HTML page when we do Ajax requests with HTMX. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and leave comments. That really helps. And stay tuned for more Clojure and HTMX content on the channel. See you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.